Hi, Brant class. Today we are going to be multiplying two-digit numbers together, and we're going to be doing it in two different ways. Now, the first way we're going to multiply this and multiply these two numbers and find the product is with the area model. Now, the area model is crucial to master because you can use this throughout your mathematics career for different applications. And you'll remember when you find the area of a rectangle, let's say you've got a rectangle that is maybe 2 inches wide by 4 inches long. If you multiply the width by the length, 2 times 4 is 8, you'll see that there would actually be 8 square inches inside that rectangle, and that would be the area of that rectangle. So when we use the area model with two-digit numbers, it's basically doing the same thing, but we get to a point where, man, that would be really hard to draw 72 boxes across the top and 35 down the side. So we just write a rectangle without showing the individual squares that compose the area. So along this side, we'll write 35, but 35 is just composed of 3 tens and 5 ones, or 30 plus 5, and then 72 is just 7 tens and 2 ones, so that would be 70 and 2. And what that gets us 4 different sections in our area model. And why do we have 4 sections in this model? Well, because when you multiply a two-digit number by a two-digit number, anytime you're multiplying multi-digit numbers, you need to multiply each digit in one number by each digit in the other number. So that 3 tens needs to be multiplied by the 7 tens and by the 2 ones. And then you also need to multiply the 5 ones by the 7 tens and multiply the 5 ones by the 2 ones in 72. So that's 4 separate multiplications, and that's what we're going to do here in the area model. So let's do these 4 separate multiplications. We'll start with the upper left-hand corner, and 30 times 70. Whew. Well, I do know that 3 times 7 is 21, but this is 3 tens, and that's 7 tens, so I need to add 2 more place values. So I know that 30 times 70 is 2,100. Now if I go over to this box, this is the 30 times 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 tens times 2 would be 6 tens, or 60. Now this box, 5 ones times 7 tens. So I know that 5 times 7 is 35, but this is 7 tens, so it would be 35 tens, or 350. And this box, 5 ones times 2 ones, well, that's the easiest one. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, so now I have the 4 partial products. Now all that's left is add them together so I can find the total area of a rectangle that would be made of width 35 and length 72. So I'll take these partial products, 2,100, 60, 350, and 10, and I'll add them together. All zeros in the ones place. In the tens place, I have a 6 and a 5. That makes 11, plus 1 more is 12. I have to carry that 1 up there. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5. And 2 in the thousands place, I got 2,520. I'm running out of space here. Let's check that result with our next method, which is called partial products. The word partial just means a part. It even has the word part in it. So it just means all of these here, these are partial products. They're not the entire product, but they're part of the total product. And that's what we do when we use the partial products method. We're just going to stack these two numbers, 35 and 72. And then, like I said, when you're multiplying multi-digit numbers, you need to take each digit in one number and multiply it by each digit in the other numbers. So let's start with this 2 in the ones place. So 2 ones times 5 ones is 10 ones. I'll put this over here so you can see what I've done. That's 2 times 5. Now, 2 ones times 3 tens. Well, I know 2 times 3 is 6, but remember this is 3 tens. So 2 times 3 tens is 6 tens, or 60. It's 2 times 30. Okay, good. So now I've multiplied the 2 ones by each digit in that number. Now I'm done with that. I need to multiply the 7 tens by each digit in 35. So 7 tens times 5 ones. Well, 7 times 5 is 35, but remember this is 7 tens. So it would be 35 tens. And lastly, the 7 tens times the 3 tens. Again, 7 and 3 is 21. But that's 7 tens and 3 tens, so that's 2,100. Now, if you're comparing the partial products I got on this method with the area model, you can see that they match perfectly. This is just a more visual way to show what you're doing over here. We have the same partial products here, 2,100, 2,100, 350, 350, 60, 60, 10, 10. If I add these up to get my total product, they should match, and indeed they do. 35 times 72 is 2,520.